Another tire and tube change out. Get down to the bare rim. I actually like doing it better when there's sprockets and rotors on because it gives you a place to slip your tire tool underneath. I bought this 2000, 2 years ago, and I've never had to fill this tire up with air. I'm expecting to be able to use the tube over. Changing tires. Rear tire's harder than the front. Okay, so I'm using baby powder. Help me get this tire out of here. You want to have 3 tire irons. One time I put a tire on by hand, slipped it in place, both beads, with no tire irons or anything. It was lubed up. Okay, one side. Now we've got to get that tube out of there. Second bead of the tire comes off right off the top here. Let's get the rim lock out. You need somebody to hold down the tire. I don't have a setup where my tire's secure. Which is to get under the tire, the other side. See what I mean? We got that off of there, and this guy's using tape for a rim band, which is an ugly mess. Duct tape. That's no fun. Oh, that bearing feels horrible. So that's the start right there. How do I get that bearing out of there? I can't even feel the lip of that. Barely feel it. I'm gonna have to get some help on this. Okay. put some new bearings in. And now we can move ahead. So just take a look and see what's to come. Well, I've been working on the 2000 rear wheel. I just got done cleaning it up, and it doesn't really clean up very good. And I don't think I'll be finishing this up right away because I may be just buying a new tire instead of putting this one on. That one should be burned off, but it means removing that tire from the rim and putting it on here for some short amount of time. I may still do that. That was my plan. I got a really old tire for the front. And I've put some new bearings in there, including a retainer. And I'm installing a 45 tooth moose steel rear sprocket. And I've got new rotor on there. We'll be installing new brake pads when we put this wheel on. It's a 120/118 dot approved tire, mountain hybrid, motoz, a composite compound, so it's got a really stiff sidewall and it's squishy here, and it's like a trials tire but certainly more knob on here, and it's got an extra deep well to help protect your edge of your rim when you're running it really low on pressure. So it's all good, looks good. When I took the tube out, I tossed the Schrader valve in with my supply here, and I don't know which one it is. And my previous attempt to use Schrader valves out of here was that 3 were leaking. You know, I'd blow the tube up and test the valve stem and there's air coming out there. So if I'm running into that problem today, then it's new tube time. We're using an old tube. Actually, what's getting used over in the whole assembly is the rim lock, and the tube. We got a brand new tire, brand new rotor, brand new sprocket, and brand new bearings. I have a bunch to try, but I don't know what's good and what's bad. Whether there's a, you know, I'm gonna have to at least take a look under a magnifying glass. This one here looks like new. This one looks pretty good, like new. I'm not sure where the red ones came from. I'll give these 3 a try. Fill the tube up with air until I find one that's working good. So yeah, I hope this works because I'm warming up the tire right now. And the tube looks pretty good. This is how I'll check for leaks in it. And like I say, what concerns me the most is the valve stem, and that's just plain leaking right there. Okay, here's Schrader valve number 2. That's holding. Alright, so I found one that works.
We're gonna try a technique of installing this tire in a way that I learned a year or 2 ago, but I've only used once. you put the tube inside the tire first off, and then you slip the rim completely inside the carcass. Baby powder. And that's going to help the tube slide around in there, avoid chafing, so forth. So let's see how that is. Try to put this tube in here. This is quite a stiff sidewall tire, so I'm a little concerned about the insulation. I don't have a helping hand. Reading this tube, it said 19 inches. Can you believe that? 19-inch wheel.
This is a unidirectional tire, so it really doesn't make any difference which way we put it. So then you're going to want to get the inner tube installed into the rim. Put the nut on in order to prevent from losing the tube inside. If you're ever struggling with your tire, you need to take a step back and look at what's going on to make a determination why it's being so tough on you. And, you know, like I say, I'm not necessarily well practiced at this method. It shouldn't be too tough to do. Okay, so I haven't given up yet. We're approaching the rim lock. That's all it took right there. I still got to deal with getting the rim lock on the other side of that first bead. As you see, it's not there. Okay, successful on that. Now at this point you want to stuff your rim lock inside the carcass and double check that that's the case. So we've got the tire on one bead and the tube is not sticking out under this installed tire bead. And this is kind of where it's different than what I'm used to, because normally I would put that side of the tire on first, lift this up and get the tube inside properly, then set this final bead, everything done from the one side. Now personally, what I want is to have the rim lock taken care of right off the bat. We need the tire up and inside the well there. You see how I've got pretty good spacing here currently. And let's get that side down a bit. I've got the rim lock shoved all the way up inside the tire. I feel safe about that. About as far as I'm going to get. Okay, I got one of my smaller tools here. That's where a third hand comes in handy, having somebody to hang on to that one. And it'd be great if the tire was mounted in a non-moving stand as well. And this is where the third hand comes in handy. Now, I'm not so sure the other bead is where I want it. I'd hate to lose what I got going so far, but oh, look at this. Yeah, see, that's on the rim. You don't want that. Can you see that? Tires on, you can't see that. Tires on the rim. And I gotta have that. Let me readjust your sight here. I gotta have this down off of there. That's better. Okay, we're almost there. Come on. That little adjustment I made on the bead down the line there made all the difference in the world. Here's where you need a third hand. That wasn't so hard, was it? So, we're going to inspect the bead and make a final check to make sure that the inner tube's not being pinched by the bead. Let's check and see what pressure that is. £55. Our tire's still under heavy pressure, and we want to check and make sure that we're well seated here. The rim's not necessarily perfect. Brand new bearings on that. The tire bead is seated good, and it's looking pretty good on the other side. I see that the rim has a few dings in it on the other side. So then the next thing is how balanced is it? Here we're coming to a stop on its own. Rim lock is at 9 o'clock and the rim lock wants to come on down. So it is heavy on the rim lock. Okay, we're going to put 2 ounces of weight on a spoke directly across from the wheel lock. It only needs a 1/4 or a 1/2 ounce in addition to this. So I'm going to go with that 2 ounce on there and tighten up the valve stem and the rim lock for the final, and we're done. It's that simple.